Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at gcnlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Everyone all set? Cocked, locked. Here we go. Your dial set correctly to USAPrepares.com. And we broadcast 2 hours, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. through 11 a.m. Central Time, right here on GCN. And if you'd like to call us, we've got the number and we'll pay for the call. 866-582-9933. 866-582-9933. And you know, we have this listen line, and you can take us with you wherever you go if you've got a phone. And that number is 605-477-3249. 605-477-3249. I never realized how convenient it is to have a telephone listen line, because I got a chance to use it as one of our students would. You know, I picked up the phone, dialed it, and put it on speakerphone, and I was able to listen to the broadcast. It's live and delayed, so if you want to listen 24 hours a day to the current broadcast, you may. 605-477-3249. That's in addition to AM, FM, if it's in your area, satellite, and the Ron Gibson YouTube channel. And you can just type in Vincent Finelli on YouTube and you'll find us. And you can sort through the dates and listen to the most current broadcasts there, as well as delayed broadcasts. And if you'd like to listen to the podcast, you can do that on gcnlive.com. And this broadcast is also picked up by Republic Broadcasting, 1 day delayed. And you can listen on their listen line as well. Information's on the website. Captain John Regan's with us. Welcome, Captain John Regan.
Good morning, Vincent.
Hey, is it Monday?
Well, one thing for sure, it's summer here in Dallas. At 6:30 this morning, it was 80 degrees. And when it's that hot that early, you know it's going to be miserable.
Yeah. Hey, John, I have, as a farmer, I have what's called a non-contact thermometer. And this thing is, probably looks like a taser, except it's not yellow. And it has a little pistol grip. And it has it can read remotely temperatures, maybe 10 feet away. So if I want to find out the temperature of a bale of hay, I can just take this thing with me. Instead of sticking a probe in the bale of hay, I can just aim this thing, foot away, and determine whether it's safe to put the bales of hay in the barn. After we cut them, they heat up a little bit as they start to decompose, and we want to make sure we don't have spontaneous combustion. So what we do is make sure they're not hot. And I checked engine temperatures, and so yesterday it was 90 degrees outside in the haze, 90 degrees, 90. So I thought, well, what are the temperatures around me? So I aimed this non-contact thermometer at a white truck. I happen to drive a white Chevy truck, an old truck. It's an 04. A couple 100,000 miles on it, working on 300,000. I aimed it at this truck, and it was 104 degrees. The paint was 104 degrees. The temperature outside was 90. And right next to that car was an old Ford tractor, a 1974 Ford 3000 tractor with black tires, okay, standard black tires. Tires, 132 degrees. It was 90 degrees outside. So if you're wondering if your tires get hot, that's nothing. That's a tire just sitting on a white concrete pad, 132 degrees. So I aimed it at the garage door. The garage door is a steel, two-skinned, insulated with foam insulation inside the two door panels. I'm talking about a traditional door that you pick up the handle in the center and it rolls up, okay? Standard home-type garage door, but made out of steel. Painted tan. Actually, I think they call it clay color. And it's faded, so it's less tan. You know, it's lighter than it was originally after 10 years of fading. 115 degrees. Our house is made out of stone, limestone, and it's hard, and it's kind of white in color. The stone is, white to light gray. 113 degrees. The entire stone structure was 113 degrees. The garage door was 115 degrees. The roof is a color, I think it's called, it's kind of like the color of bark. It's not black, it's not white, it kind of has some tan, just maybe a hint of green in it, but it's the color of hardwood bark. 145 degrees. So here are the numbers. Outside temperature, 90. A white truck, 104. The black tire on the tractor, 132. The garage door, 115. The stone house, 113. And the roof, 145. Now, that was not in full sun. If it were in full sun, all of those temperatures would be even higher, except the outside temperature. So the reason I'm mentioning this, as you travel down the roads, if you're on a black-colored road that's really hot, it's probably so hot in the sun like we're having now, it's so hot that you probably can't touch the road comfortably. All right? Your tires are on there. The contact patch of your tires is absorbing the heat from the road, but it's being cooled by the air that blows across the tires you travel. But it's a great way to have your tires blow out. So what do you do? Well, what I do, and research this for yourself, what I do is I increase the tire pressure cold to the maximum that the tire manufacturer recommends. And it's on the sidewall of the tire. Some of them are 51 pounds per square inch, some are 44 pounds per square inch. Truck tires, 8-ply truck tires might be 80 pounds. We have some trailer tires that go to 110. But what you do is make sure you check them at night after the tires have cooled down, after the car is set for a couple hours, not in the sunlight. Make sure all the tires are in the shade or not in direct sunlight and have been for several hours. And then make sure your tire pressure is equal. What I do on an all-wheel drive vehicle, make sure all tire pressures are equal, front to back, side to side. And I take them to the maximum that's allowed by the tire manufacturer, and it says on the sidewall. And the reason for that is there's less rolling resistance. The tire deforms less at the bottom patch where it contacts the road. Where it deforms less, the tire itself heats up less, which decreases the potential, in my opinion, for a blowout. John Regan?
Well, while we're in there relating to weather, let me do a quick update on Tale of Two Droughts. In California, last time we talked about it, there was a bit of the northwest part that it was normal for a change. Well, now it's back. At least 100% of California, or 100% of California, is at least abnormally dry. And it's just starting summer. So that's something to keep an eye on. Texas, on the other hand, right now we have 0% of the state in drought, and just a couple of spots in far west Texas, a little over 1% of the state that's abnormally dry. But I was looking at the next 10-day forecast. It's basically between 96 and 98 degrees every day. And I guess we're happy that it's only that, because it could be worse. It could be triple digit.
Sure. And let me just put an exclamation point on that, John. We have a number of ponds on our farm, and these are just scooped out areas that fill up with rainwater and runoff. And we planted some fish, catfish, in these ponds. our fish are doing okay, but the ponds are pretty warm. And we looked at some of our neighbors' ponds. And what has happened is we let the cows go into the ponds. You know, the soil and water conservation guys would have a fit if they knew that here we have a farm that is not controlled by them, and we let our cows go swimming. You know, if they're hot, those big black cows get hot and they need to get in the shade, and so they don't overheat and die. So we let them go swimming, and they go in the water and they churn up the water, and they bring bacteria in the water, which causes it's a perfect way for the ponds to survive. Well, there are other ponds in the area that have no animals in them, and they've been covered with this thick green algae. Not ours. Ours don't have it. Others do. We've had it in the past, but not now. So these other ponds that get plenty of sunlight, this thick blanket of green algae starts growing on the pond. Now, how thick is it? It's about as thick as AstroTurf. So it's not just a thin layer, the thickness of a piece of paper. No, this might be a quarter to 3/8 of an inch thick, at least. It's like carpet, green carpet over the entire surface of the pond. Except there are these bumps that rise through the green algae, and that would be the dead fish. That's how hot it is, and that's what happens when you allow algae to grow on your ponds. So if you have that and you have fish, you might not have fish for long. And it smells, what's it smell like? It smells like the ocean. It smells like the ocean with all these dead animals and these dead fish. So just a thought, let you know that, there are other effects of these outrageous temperatures that we're seeing. One is the tires blowing up on the highway. And be careful. Be careful when you're following somebody on the highway. They may have a blowout, have a trailer that they're pulling, lose control, and it might be 20 cars in a series that get smacked because some guy's riding your tail and there's some guy riding that guy's tail and so forth. Be really careful. I looked at a video this morning. I'll post it on the website. In New Jersey, there's a camera set up. Like 100 cars go through a stop sign in an hour, in 90 minutes. 100 cars go right through a stop sign, including a police car. I mean, people are not paying attention. And the point is, class, please pay attention. Because the guys around you, left, right, in front, and back, they're probably not. We'll be right back. Class, I'm a survivalist, and my plan is to be independent of everything that I can so that supply chain disruptions have a minimum impact on our family. What's the first thing that you do when the power goes out? I've researched the best value solar energy system that I can find, one that's backed by the technical support necessary for the undertaking. The system's installed and is generating electricity right now with equipment purchased from ironedison.com. You heard Brandon Williams, CEO of ironedison.com, right here on USA Prepares. Together, we designed our system. In my opinion, our ironedison.com system has more features, more value, and more potential than any other system I've found. We chose the Snyder Electric system with a hybrid inverter, charge controller, power panel, battery disconnect, and the system control panel. If you want energy independence, as we have, please consider calling the engineering team at ironedison.com, 720-432-6433, 720-432-6433.
Dangerous blood clot device alert. If you or a loved one had an IVC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to your heart or lungs and suffered an injury, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, and even death. These dangerous blood clot devices can break, and the metal fragments can travel to your heart or lungs, causing serious injuries. If you or a loved one suffered organ damage or other injuries from an IVC filter, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation.
Hey, John, I forgot.
Now, time is limited.
Can I talk to John Regan for a second, please? And also you at the same time.
For information, call Injury Help Desk at 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. This is an advertisement. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. InjuryHelpDesk.com is responsible for this advertisement. Principal office, Las Vegas, Nevada. Are your Google search results killing you? Unflattering content in blogs, news articles, online reviews, social media, or other sources can jeopardize your reputation, your business, and your livelihood. Let Reputation.com help. Our patented technology will make the truth about you more visible while pushing down unwanted negative content. Improve your Google search results. Call Reputation.com at 1-800-831-0771 for a free consultation. That's 800-831-0771.
The following is an incredible, life-changing free offer for anyone with hearing problems who wants to start hearing everything more clearly again. We're now offering free in-home trials of a revolutionary hearing breakthrough called Listen Clear to anyone who calls this special toll-free number now, 1-800-957-9364. Call in the next 10 minutes and you'll also qualify for free shipping and free batteries for life. Listen Clear is precisely designed by top audio engineers. It adjusts to let you find the perfect way to hear everything, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And Listen Clear is so invisible, people may not even know you're wearing it. And it's so lightweight, you may even forget you're wearing it too. Don't miss this special life-changing opportunity to hear everything more clearly again for free, with a 100% free in-home trial, free shipping, and even free batteries for life. For free information, call now. 1-800-957-9364. That's 1-800-957-9364. 1-800-957-9364.
DarkCityDefense.com was born in Black Mountain, at the foot of the Black Mountain Range in North Carolina. From the Dark City, as it's affectionately been named, we've built an online firearms pro store that boasts a vast range of firearms, optics, and outdoor supplies. With aggressively low everyday pricing and a free gift pack with every firearms purchase, DarkCityDefense.com is committed to Tier 1 customer service and overcoming darkness by turning on the light of liberty. Find the light in our logo and find out more at DarkCityDefense.com.
Captain John Regan's with us, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com. Quick announcement. On Saturday, we're going to have a reunion, a USA Prepares reunion at Jimmy's Egg in Springfield, Missouri. So if you'd like to join us, 6 o'clock, right after the RK Prepper Show on Saturday, the 25th. So who's going to be there? USA Prepares instructors, students, and guests. You're all welcome. Of course, unless you work for the government. And it's private. So we take over the entire restaurant. That's Jimmy's Egg on Battlefield in Springfield, Missouri. I'll post some information on the website probably tonight or tomorrow. So if you decide you want to come join us, it'll be great. Luke Cassidy will be there. We've invited Norm Shealy and all the other instructors. John, are you flying, or are you taking a train, or how are you getting there? I'm going to miss you. I know you can't make it, but boy, it'd be great. It'd be great to see you. It really would.
I wish I could be there.
Yeah. So we'll be at the RK Prepper Show, and Rick Miller will be there, Matt Stein. I talked to Rick Miller this morning. He called me, and he's all excited about coming. We're going to have a great time. So if you'd like to meet Richard Allen Miller, Matt Stein, Luke Cassidy, and some of the rest of the faculty, we'll be there. Storm and Norman Cantwell, Craig Douglas, and probably more. So, John, where do you want to start today?
Well, why don't we start with the financial section? And oh boy, we've talked about pension problems, and it's not just limited to places like the People's Republics of New York, Illinois, or California. We've got a Mississippi hospital pension in Jackson County that, they had hard times like everybody else. So, in order to make ends meet, they just stopped making payments to the Workers' Pension Fund. And they didn't tell anybody about it. So this county has 141,000 residents. And they've agreed to put nearly $150 million into the pension under a settlement that was approved in June. So that makes it a bit over $1,000 per resident. And, we've been seeing items saying that, a large percent of households can't handle a $400 emergency. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. And say keep on expecting to see more of this go on. And then,
John, I used to go to these government meetings back in the 1970s at the federal level, and we were in a competition to build the best system. There were 6 states involved, and I used to hear this every once in a while. When the states would compete to be the best at their agency, whatever it was, whether it be education or health or whatever. You'd hear the saying, thank God for Mississippi. And what they meant by that was Mississippi was always on the bottom, whatever it was. Mississippi was, generally dead last. And they would say, thank God for Mississippi, because it could be us. We could be last. And it's a shame. It really is a shame, because Mississippi is a wonderful place. I'm not sure why they have so many problems and so much poverty.
And speaking of the People's Republic of California, if you think $5 million for a house, you should have something at least fairly decent. I think most of you would expect something close to a mansion, not in Palo Alto. And you almost have to see the pictures to fully appreciate this article.
Well, if you'd like to see the picture, it's at thefinancialstateoftheunion.com. Click on the news tab, and you've titled this Palo Alto Fixer Upper. Now, when I saw this house that's listed $5 million, I thought, wait a minute, that's the house I rented when I was in Los Gatos, California. It's tiny, it's run down, and it's a shack. I'm not kidding. It's a shack. You won't believe it.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pileski of the Pileski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Think about this. Your community's aging water infrastructure systems are very likely to be contaminated with heavy metals like lead, disinfection chemicals like ammonia, chlorine and chloramines, and pharmaceuticals like statins, pain meds, and antidepressants. And no, water treatment plants are not equipped to filter these pharmaceutical toxins out. Protect your family's water supply with the trusted Big Berkey water filter. New NSF EPA certified lab tests show Big Berkey water filters remove chloramines, pharmaceuticals, BPA, pesticides, bacteria, and viruses, all forms of fluoride, and much more. Big Berkey water filters are the original and most trusted on the market, the gold standard in water purification, and our filters last for years at less than 2 cents per gallon. Big Berkey, the one powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get your Big Berkey today. Call 1-877-99-BERKEY or click BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, a place for mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-403-4885. That's 1-800-403-4885. 1-800-403-4885. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details in the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Hi, this is Ron Paul. I'm a former 22-year congressman and Republican presidential candidate. I'm here to tell you about something that just might save your lives. You never know when there will be another Katrina, an economic collapse, or a serious drought. We should all have a little food storage that will carry us through tough times. I'm going to tell you about a great way to do that. A U.S. company named Harvest Right has a kitchen appliance that can help you be prepared. It's a home freeze dryer. With the product, you can preserve the foods your family loves. And the best part is the food will last 25 years and still taste great. I've tried it and it's amazing. With a home freeze dryer from Harvest Right, you can literally freeze dry anything you eat, even things like ice cream. To learn more, call Harvest Right today at 800-594-4635 or go to harvestright.com. That's 800-594-4635 or harvestright.com.
Class Captain John Regan's with us, U.S. Air Force Reserves retired. And joining us is Randy Curley with RKPreppershows.com. Welcome, Randy.
Good morning, Vincent. How are you?
Good morning, and it's great to hear your voice. I heard a rumor that you're going to be at the RK Prepper Shows Saturday and Sunday. Is that true?
That is true, Vincent. I will be in Springfield, Missouri at the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds on Saturday and Sunday, and we're going to have a great time there.
Yeah. By the way, thank you for inviting me to a number of the RK Prepper shows across the country and allowing me to speak in front of those seminar groups. It's been a lot of fun. It really has.
Well, Vincent, I got to say that we have a great lineup of speakers coming up this weekend, but you are one of the stars. Your presentation at various shows where you have been with us across the country, and we've just started this the last couple of years, or last year actually. Your presentation is greatly enjoyed by people, and they come out of your seminar and they walk up to me and say, gosh, please bring Vincent Finelli back next year because we so much enjoyed his presentation.
Well, that's very kind. And now you've got a number of fabulous speakers. I talked to Richard Allen Miller this morning. He called me, and he's all excited about coming to the RK Prepper Shows Expo this weekend, June 25 and 26, Saturday and Sunday. Matt Stein's coming. Stormin Norman Cantwell is going to be there, and Craig Douglas is going to be there. And those are people who our class understands. They've been on the air with us many times. I'm glad that you've joined us on the air. What kind of reaction are you getting around the country with these events where people are learning about preparedness and survival and taking charge of their own destiny? What kind of reaction are you getting, Randy Curley?
Well, that's the thing, Vincent. What we've discovered is that the educational aspects of these seminars are so valuable to people. They come out of the seminars, as you mentioned, Matt Stein, Dr. Richard Allen Miller, yourself, Stormin Norman. They come out of the seminars and say, I learned so much, and the reaction has been extremely positive, which has encouraged us to, expand into the prepper show, survival show area. We've got shows in Huntsville, Alabama coming up, Raleigh, North Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina, Kansas City, Missouri, and we're very encouraged about the response that we've gotten from people. They just seem happy to learn about, the prepper lifestyle and what you can do in terms of preparing yourself for disasters, that sort of thing. And it runs across the spectrum. It's just we've had an amazing response for this. And here's the other thing. We have people like Bob Gaskin, Joe Fisher. They live that lifestyle. That's what they do on a daily basis, and so they can impart that knowledge that they have to people, and these people learn. People come to the shows, learn from those guys and from you about how to actually do it, and that's a good thing.
I really like Joe Fisher. He teaches survival, and he's a wonderful man. First time I see him, every time I come to an RK event and he's there, I get a big hug from him. He's just a wonderful guy, and we can all learn a lot about, if we're new at survival and preparedness, he's a great instructor. So, I'm really glad to hear that. And Craig Douglas is he'll teach us about food storage. He'll help us build a food storage plan. And of course he sells freeze-dried food. But one of the things he does is he unsells freeze-dried food. He'll tell you how to build a plan, and then he'll say, if you have any money left over, you can get some of these freeze-dried foods because they're more expensive than other ways of going. So it's not like it's sell. It's education, and that's what I like about it.
That's right. Craig is one of our best speakers. People come to listen to him because he does such a great job of talking about freeze-dried foods. And like you said, he's not about sell. He's about, helping people get prepared for a situation and have freeze-dried foods. And he's just an outstanding speaker. He's one of just an example of people that we've got this weekend. We've had tremendous amount of I think probably, Vincent, this may be, in fact, it's not maybe, it is definitely our best lineup of seminar speakers that we've ever had. And gosh, people should come and see this next weekend because the educational opportunities are fantastic.
Randy, I took the liberty of doing something that I probably should not have done at the last event. Actually, the last two events of yours. I said, if you don't feel like you got your money's worth at this seminar, meaning the seminar I gave, if you don't feel you got your money's worth, make sure you ask for a refund. Did anybody ask for a refund?
Not one single person. Not one single person.
That's the point. And just as I said that, I saw you come around the corner and I thought, uh-oh. I think he heard me say that.
I think I probably did hear you say that.
and I had no authority to do that. I mean, literally, I would have been opening my wallet to pay for all those refunds. But I knew that was not going to happen. I knew that, the people hold the seminar speakers over. They don't want to leave.
No,
they want to stay and they want more.
Absolutely. They want more. They follow them back to their tables and they talk to them and keep asking questions, Vincent. I mean, it is amazing to see. And it happens with you at your presentation every time. People keep you on and keep asking you questions. In fact, I have to kick you out of the seminar room sometimes because people are still asking you questions, and the next speaker has to come up. But the same thing happens with all the speakers. And for example, we've got Dr. Bones and Nurse Amy this weekend, who are going to be giving a presentation on suturing and stitching, and a hands-on presentation where they actually have a class that people participate in and actually do suturing on a pig's knee. And they bring it in, and you can register for that class ahead of time. And their presentation is outstanding. It's world class. I am so excited about this weekend, Vincent. I just think this is going to be one of the best shows we've had ever.
I think you're right. And I understand that you're coming to our reunion on Saturday night after the RK Prepper Show at 6 o'clock at our hangout in Springfield, Missouri, Jimmy's Egg. It's a breakfast and lunch restaurant. They close at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but they're reopening on Saturday just for us so that our guests, our students, and our instructors can come and have dinner together and have some fellowship. And I understand that you and Rex are coming.
Yes, we're going to try and be there. I will definitely be there. I think Rex is going to try and be there, and we're looking forward to that, Vincent. We really are.
And that's so much fun. And here's what I thought I would do. I thought I'd pass the microphone around. I'll be the MC of the event, and all of the instructors that would like to can introduce themselves and tell a little bit more about who they are. I'd like you and Rex to come up. And we've done this. We've done this in the past. We had about 100 instructors. We did it at a restaurant, and we gave everybody 2 minutes. We said, okay, just 2 minutes. Just who you are and what you're going to be talking about. And 2 minutes times 100 instructors is 200 minutes. It's over 3 hours of just saying, hi, I'm Vince Finelli. I'll be talking about... That's it. And it is the coolest thing. So let's do that on Saturday. That's Saturday at Jimmy's Egg.
You can count on that, Vincent.
Yeah, and I'd love to have you on the radio and you can talk about your experience with the space program. I think that would be a fascinating broadcast because you're expert in that.
Well, I would enjoy that. As you know, I was the general counsel for the Presidential Commission on the Space Shuttle Challenger accident back in 1986. One of the best experiences, and I guess at the same time worst experiences of my life because of the tragedy that happened. But the talented people like Dr. Richard Feynman, Bill Rogers, Neil Armstrong, Sally Ride, et cetera, that I worked with at that time. It was one of the most impressive and important experiences of my life, and I'll treasure it always.
Yeah, and let's do a broadcast. John Regan, do you have any questions about the RK Prepper Show that I'm sorry that you're going to be missing because you're going to be in Texas?
I don't have a question. I'd just like to make a suggestion. When you go to a prepper show like this, I know a lot of people start thinking about going off grid, and that's not a bad thing. But I'd like you to take it a step further and instead have that question in your mind about how would you take things off the supply chain? Because that's what I'm concerned about. We're facing is the supply chain dropping out from underneath us, and there are so many skills, and it's a great place to get started.
Randy Curley, thank you so much for being with us. I'm really looking forward to spending a couple days with you this weekend, June 25, 26 at the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds. It's a wonderful facility. You'll be quite impressed. Lots of free parking. Matt Stein, Rick Miller, Craig Douglas, Stormin Norman, Lou Cassidy, and more will be there. Class, I'm a survivalist, and my plan is to be independent of everything that I can so that supply chain... Would you thank Randy Curley for me, please? Our family. What's the first thing that you do when the power goes out? I've researched the best value solar energy system that I can find, one that's backed by the technical support necessary for the undertaking. The system's installed and is generating electricity right now with equipment purchased from ironedison.com. You heard Brandon Williams, CEO of ironedison.com, right here on USA Prepares. Together, we designed our system. In my opinion, our ironedison.com system has more features, more value, and more potential than any other system I found. We chose the Snyder Electric system with a hybrid inverter, charge controller, power panel, battery disconnect, and the system control panel. If you want energy independence, as we have, please consider calling the engineering team at ironedison.com, 720-432-6433, 720-432-6433.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
This is an alert. If your business or church is building this year, you're about to pay more than you should. And this could mean thousands of dollars more for your office, retail space, church, or warehouse. A General Steel building can save you as much as half the cost and time of similar conventional construction. And we're offering rebates of up to $20,000 to help you build today. Call General Steel for free information that could save you thousands. Call 866-91-STEEL. 866-91-STEEL. 866-91-STEEL.
Here's Dr. Paul Meyer, Christian psychiatrist, author of 85 books, and founder of the national chain Meyer Clinics, to tell you about To Your Health liquid vitamins.
I've been taking these every day for over a decade now, and I try to encourage every one of my clients to take them every day. And there's a number of reasons. First of all, it's the best vitamins you can get. It's got dozens of vitamins, antioxidants, and nutrients in it. And then the most important reason why I do it as a psychiatrist and recommend it to my patients is because it's got brain food in it. It's got the essential amino acids. It's got tryptophan, phenylalanine, tyrosine, choline, vitamin B6, and these chemicals that are all natural from food turn into the brain chemicals that make you happy.
To Your Health is delicious. Find out more today. Call us 800-801-3459 or visit online at mytoyourhealth.com. Use the coupon code RADIO15 for a 15% discount on your order. That's mytoyourhealth.com.
As a doctor, I see patients every day who are losing their vision to age-related macular degeneration, also known as AMD. If you have blurry vision or blind spots, they can be symptoms of AMD, and if untreated, could lead to blindness. The good news, AMD can be managed with effective clinically approved treatments that may reverse some vision loss. For free AMD information, contact the Foundation Fighting Blindness at 1-800-BLINDNESS. That's 1-800-BLINDNESS. There is a cure in sight.
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. You can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 Pain Hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.
This is David Cordani, CEO of Cigna. For more than 20 years, Cigna has worked with the March of Dimes to address premature births in the U.S. Premature births cause horrible suffering and cost billions of dollars each year. That's why Cigna is committed to raising funds and awareness through our employees, family, and friends to improve the health of moms and babies. Please join us in supporting the March for Babies. Start your team today at marchforbabies.org.
Captain John Regan's with us. Hey, John, I got a nice little note from Les Gabriel, one of our instructors, and it reminds me that he asked me about bliss and how I apply bliss. Now, class, if you'd like to learn how to apply Dr. Shealy's bliss, you can go to normshealy.com and you can search Optimal Health and you'll find a link to how to apply it. But here's what I do. I put it between my thumb and forefinger in like the web of my hand. I put one drop there. And then I transfer that one drop to the web between to the web of the other hand. I put it on my left hand and transfer it to my right hand. That's it. That's all I do. But I'm really, really sensitive to it. The points that Dr. Shealy recommends do that. But that's just for me. John Regan, what's next?
Let's try to get through the rest of the financial sections. So I want to start with preparedness next hour. We've got Neiman Marcus, commonly referred to as needless markup. Profits plummet 81%.
Right.
And they're pretty famous for putting up their Christmas catalog for expensive items that you have to have more money than sense to afford. Mm-hmm. And so I'm wondering, is this are we getting to the point where the rich can't afford things anymore, or is it the people that are pretending to be rich? There's a lot of people here in Dallas. They'll buy a bigger house than what they can really afford. These McMansions. They'll buy a fancy car, and they'll wear these fancy clothes from these upscale places. But if you go to their house, they don't have any furniture because they're broke. They're in debt so much building this image. So I can't say the reason. Is all I can do is report on what we see. We've also got
John,
coal production.
Hold on just one second. If I was in the truck with Mrs. Finelli yesterday, and she has this ball cap that she's had for 15 years, literally. It's her favorite ball cap. She gets on the tractor with it. It's her to keep the sun out of her eyes. And it was shredded on the bill. The front bill was coming apart. It was splitting at the seams. And I said, Mrs. Finelli, you are now in fashion. Now you look like these people who buy them that way. They will buy a pre-shredded, pre-scuffed, pre-beat up cap to have that image. But she actually wore hers out. And so I saw that, and we passed a mall, and Sears. There's a mall on Battlefield in Springfield, Missouri, and we passed Sears, and the parking lot had weeds growing through the pavement there. And I said, "Look at that! And that's because there's no cars, running over the parking lot to keep the weeds in check." And she said, "Well, who'd go to Sears anyway?" And I said, "Well, I know." And we talked about the malls and how in the 1970s. Going to the mall was a really cool thing because you could see everything. It was all there. But that was before the internet. Now you can see everything on the internet. Who needs the malls? I can't stand going to the malls because the minute you walk in, you are assaulted by somebody trying to empty your wallet. Meaning the salespeople. I don't like it. Well, just my comment. Do you agree?
Absolutely, and I thought it was always crazy that the mall was kind of like in the mafia, where you come here and we'll take a cut of the action and we'll provide protection for you.
Yeah. Okay, so Neiman Marcus, their profit is down 81%. Now, how long can they continue that? I don't know. But we're seeing more and more stores fail. And I'm seeing fewer and fewer reasons to go to these big stores. I really am. And J.C. Penick, boy, I'll tell you what, if they don't have a sale, I don't see many cars in their parking lot. If they don't have like a 50% off sale, like a 25% off doesn't even interest me. That's just a good start. It's a good start, but I'm still not interested. I'm interested in 50% or more off. We'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Okay, I'm going to step away and have some spinach. I'll be right back. From predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Attention backpackers, on a budget, why spend $80 to $300 to pump clean survival water? Introducing the Viva Water Pump Kit from Viva Outdoor Products. Super easy to use and super lightweight at only 6.5 ounces, the Viva Water Pump Kit provides high flow rate at 1 ounce per stroke, can be one-hand pumped, and is dependable and affordable at only $24.99, filter not included. Get your Viva Water Pump Kit at viba-odp.com from Viva Outdoor Products.
Are you worried about how dangerous the world has become? In these days of terrorist attacks, natural disasters, or even a future collapse, you need to be medically prepared to keep your family safe. I'm Joe Alton, MD of store.doomandbloom.net, where you'll find an entire line of uniquely designed medical kits and supplies for when help is not on the way. For everything from individual first aid kits to the ultimate family medical bag, go to store.doomandbloom.net today. That's store.doomandbloom.net. You'll be glad you did.
Everyone all set, cocked, locked. Here we go. Hour number 2 of USA Prepares with Captain John Regan. John, just a short note. I was just thinking about some of the things that we did over the last couple of days here at the farm to recover from failures. One of our trucks, the refrigerant lock leaked out. So we recharged it with EnviroSafe, 2 cans of EnviroSafe. It's a propane butane mix. I suggest all of those in class who are considering recharging, it will replace Freon 134A. It's a drop-in replacement. Don't need to change any of the refrigeration oil. You can just add it on top. You can replace what's in it. It works with or without the existing Freon 134A. It works great. I've been using it for probably 10 years. So we had that happen. Maybe an hour it took us to pump down the system, evacuate it, and load it with a pound and a half of Freon. Then wheel bearing failed on one of our ATVs. That's a showstopper because you can't ride a wheel with a bad wheel bearing on a four-wheeler. What do we use that for? We use that to shuttle people back and forth to tractors in the field, and we check the cows, and we use our ATVs as tools, farm tools. And then we had a flat tire in one of our tractors. Just flat tire. That's another showstopper. What I'm trying to say is one flat tire can mess up, your plants, literally. So check your tires. So what we had to do is go out to the field with a jack up the tractor, take the wheel off, take the wheel back to the garage here at the house, pop the tire off, take the tube out, patch the tube, and we have tube patching equipment here. So we patched that, put it all back together. But what did it take? 2 hours. And then we have a rolling, one of those riding lawnmowers. 2 of the tire valves failed in our riding lawnmower. It just leaked out the valve, so valve core. So take out the valve core, put in 2 ones. What do they cost? 2 new ones. What do they cost? 10 cents each. But you can have flat tires and you can't mow the lawn. What I'm saying is there are plenty of places for failure, and John Regan talked about this first hour. He talked about the supply chain. If you don't have some of these spare parts that you're going to need, you could be out of business. For silly things like a 10-cent tire valve, or a tube repair kit, a tire tube repair kit, or a way to inflate your tires, or a $10 or $15 wheel bearing, or 2 cans of refrigerant that might cost $4 a can. Seriously. So think about what you need, and make sure you have what you need before you need it. That's what preparedness is. Having what you need before you need it. John Regan.
Well, we had a minor failure this weekend ourselves. We were fixing dinner, got the dish ready, and slid it into the oven, and I set the timer, and I go and start working on my computer, doing more show prep. And I'm thinking, I really think that that timer should have dinged by now. And I walk in and find out the timer had stopped. And, this timer has been in my house since Becky has, so a little over 24 years. And she had it for some time. So it's probably on the order of 30 years old. And I have to admit, not only had I not given the timer a second thought, I hadn't even given it a first thought.
Right.
What do you do when it fails? And this is a nice little, mechanical one where you just twist the top of it and just dings when it's done. And you either have to be able to repair, which something like this probably isn't repairable, or have an alternative. And, I'm thinking, I can easily go out to a number of stores and get a brand new kitchen timer. It's probably made in China and might last 2 or 3 years. But, what do you do for the long term? And while that's just a minor annoyance right now, and I can, the apartment comes with a microwave, so I can, set timer on there and get the same effect. When there's no power, what do you do? So you can always do things like, an hourglass, which won't ding for you, but at least you can use it to track time, and doesn't require a lot of maintenance as long as you don't drop it. It's just one of those things, you need to go through room by room and just start, looking at things and, and sometimes it's so tough. Like I say, how long have I been dealing with that kitchen timer? Never thought about it.
Well, I looked at the clock radio in the bedroom several weeks ago. I thought, this was one of our children's, and we bought each one of them the same clock radio way back, 25 years ago. And we're still using it. It's been plugged in ever since, and we just take it for granted. But it's made by Sony, and we use it as an alarm. We don't get radio reception here at the farmhouse, and so we use it as an alarm should we need it. And it's across the room, but it just keeps telling us the time, close to the right time. We have an atomic clock here as well for the studio, but we take that for granted. And I was thinking, wow, that's lasted pretty well. I don't think a new one would last anywhere near as long as that. You're absolutely right. So here we've got a bunch of old stuff that is gonna stop working sometime, and the replacement would be worse than the original. And that's what you were talking about. We had a fan fail in the bathroom upstairs. We have one of those exhaust fans, and the motor stopped working. You turn on the switch, and it goes, and it wouldn't spin. So I advised everyone in the family not to do that. Don't burn out the motor. And so our son got up on a ladder, took the motor out, oiled both bearings, put it back in. Works like brand new. So you don't have to buy new. You can just. We're having a lot of these motors that stop working because it seems like the lubrication fails in them, and maybe it gets gummy and the motors don't want to start. And a drop of oil on each end of the motor shaft for this could be like one of those convection ovens that sits on the counter. That motor could have the bearings seize up. Bathroom fans. So you might want to take it apart. You might want to look it up on YouTube and see what other people thought and how they fixed theirs. And if you've never done it before, what a great way to go. I mean, why buy a new one? And certainly don't call a plumber to fix that or an electrician, because you're looking at several $100s. Just my thought. John Regan, what's next?
Well, wanted to get into the preparedness section. So first up there, it's about the food. Mm-hmm. And this is talking about Venezuela and why gold and barter items are terrible preps. And I've talked about this before. Gold is great for that time period where things go unhinged and you get that hyperinflation run up, and then you get the crash. Well, while you're in that hyperinflation run up, you can use that gold to pay your mortgage and your property taxes so that you're not finding yourself on the street. But once you get that point where food starts becoming scarce, it doesn't matter what you have. It's all about the food. And things are starting to get violent in Venezuela. And unfortunately, I believe we're going to see that here, at least there. For the most part, they still have utilities that work most of the time. If we end up in that grid down situation, basically everything that we don't think about, the entire infrastructure, the transportation, which is necessary to get everything that we use from one place to another, all the control systems that keep track of all of that, it's all gone. And, it's truly a come as you are party. And that ought to scare a lot of people.
I think it is a preview of what's coming here as well. I totally agree with you. And because people are people, and just because they're in a different part of the world doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to behave differently from the way we might. We've seen looting, we've seen rioting, we've seen what happens when the power fails, and people do things. They take desperate measures when they're desperate. And the story that I share sometimes at seminars is, so she says to him, the young wife says to her husband, don't you hear her crying? She's hungry. Do something. Meaning, go get some formula. We're out of formula. Go get some formula. So the young husband goes out there, and he's standing there at the window of the store, and there are other people milling around. The store is not open. The lights aren't on. The power's out. And they're milling around, and somebody breaks the window because they want to get in. The store is closed. They can't sell anything because they don't have the means to process the transaction with credit cards, debit cards, EBT cards, and they don't even know what the prices of items are because it's all barcoded and in the computer system, and that computer isn't working at the cash register. So someone breaks the window, and in through the window they go, and more people go in, and more merchandise is stolen. I mean, what is that guy going to do when his wife says, do something? She's crying, she's hungry. What's he going to do? Is he going to come back empty-handed and say, the store was closed, sorry? Is he going to do that, or is he going to be part of the mob? And I think people who would not normally be part of the mob will be doing things that they would not normally do because they are desperate. So what is preparedness? Having what you need before you need it. So as John Regan is telling you, make sure that you've taken inventory. This weekend, if you can come to the Arcade Prepper shows in Springfield, Missouri, at the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds. By the way, link is on the website, USA Prepares. Take an inventory with your family. Sit down for dinner. All of you, not some of you, put those cell phones away. No cell phones, no TV, no distractions. Talk about what's important. What would we not like to have happen to us? And make sure you prepare so that does not happen to you. Captain John Regan, I'll be right back. Class, I'm a survivalist, and my plan is to be independent of everything that I can so that supply chain disruptions have a minimum impact on our family. What's the first thing that you do when the power goes out? I've researched the best value solar energy system that I can find, one that's backed by the technical support necessary for the undertaking. The system's installed and is generating electricity right now with equipment purchased from IronEdison.com. You heard Brandon Williams, CEO of IronEdison.com, right here on USA Prepares. Together, we designed our system. In my opinion, our IronEdison.com system has more features, more value, and more potential than any other system I found. We chose the Snyder Electric system with a hybrid inverter, charge controller, power panel, battery disconnect, and the system control panel. If you want energy independence, as we have, please consider calling the engineering team at IronEdison.com, 720-432-6433, 432-6433.
Here's Dr. Paul Meyer, Christian psychiatrist, author of 85 books, and founder of the national chain Meyer Clinics, to tell you about To Your Health liquid vitamins.
I've been taking these every day for over a decade now, and I try to encourage every one of my clients to take them every day. And there's a number of reasons. First of all, it's the best vitamins you can get. It's got dozens of vitamins, antioxidants, and nutrients in it. And then the most important reason why I do it as a psychiatrist and recommend it to my patients is because it's got brain food in it. It's got the essential amino acids. It's got tryptophan, phenylalanine, tyrosine, choline, vitamin B6, and these chemicals that are all natural from food turn into the brain chemicals that make you happy.
To Your Health is delicious. Find out more today. Call us 800-801-3459 or visit online at mytoyourhealth.com. Use the coupon code RADIO15 for a 15% discount on your order. That's mytoyourhealth.com.
The best kept secret in the firearms business is CDNNsports.com. CDNN Sports is the largest firearms liquidator in the U.S. We've got optics, accessories, gun parts, magazines, ammunition, and more. Sign up for our email specials today for the best gun deals, period. You will also be entered to win a Winchester 101 field shotgun. Go to Charlie, Delta, Novembersports.com. That's CDNNsports.com.
It's about time something new came along for better selling and buying online. And I found it.
What now, Marge?
It's buysellmakeoffer.com.
Never heard of it.
It's a brand new company. That's why you've never heard of it. It's the newest and best way to sell any products online. I did all the research.
Sell my car?
Yes.
Our home?
Yep.
My golf bag?
Your golf clubs. All of them.
How about your purse collection hoard?
Hey, now.
You said any product.
Right. I did. We get 30 days free.
Really?
Packages starting from only $7.95. And buysellmakeoffer.com will never charge item fees ever. Never. And this is cool. Listen to this. You can even use Skype or video to show your items.
That's cool.
Yes. All we have to do is go to the website, sign up, and then load our stuff to sell. I love this site.
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. You got it?
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. Better selling, better buying.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Class Captain John Regan's with us, and calling in from Europe. Joining us is Senior USA Preparedness Instructor Miles. Miles, welcome.
Morning, class. Morning, John. Morning, Vincent. How are you doing?
Very, very well.
Great.
Miles, thank you for calling in.
Well, let me bring in a point. I called up John 2 weeks ago and reported him about the situation in Caracas in Venezuela. And I stated to him a couple of comments that I received out of an internal company forum, an airline company, where the airline staff was collecting for the people they interact with and what there was needed. Just to underline what you were just talking about, to stock up on things, was there was no baby food available. There was no milk available. Hygiene napkins for the females have been a regulated item. Every female had only the opportunity to get one package at a certain point in the month, and if they didn't show up because they had to stand in line for something else, they simply had no hygiene napkins anymore. Toilet paper, soap, nothing available, no soap available. And not to talk about the worries where to go for dinner. If you think about that, if somebody would from the outside would come to Caracas and try to buy these hygienic napkins, you would have to pay $45 on the black market for one package of sanitary napkins there.
Miles, what you're talking about is what John Regan has been mentioning for years, and that's supply chain. supply chain
I know
goes away and
suddenly it comes overnight. It will be like with the new markets on gold and silver, that these things happen on a Monday morning after you went to bed on Friday, not thinking about anything, and they might be not available on Monday morning. So we had a show on that a couple of months ago. I gave the time frame to get everything settled and packed until March, that you have the bonus time left over to do the filling up on whatever you need. Now is the time to rush things, because things don't look very good in the economy. And from my point of view here, I don't know what will be happening after August.
John Regan?
And that's kind of a common view. There's a lot of people seeing how things are, not only like they were in 2008, but how they were in 1929. And there's just a conversion, so many sides that, boy, if we get through the rest of this year, I think we're lucky. But even if we do get through this year, I don't think there's any way we get through next year.
Let me give you an idea which kind of areas are more prone to have nothing and the ones that shall have something. It's pretty easy to find out about that. You look up on Google the Agenda 21 map, and every region that is marked blue is a center where people basically will be collected after an economic breakdown or some kind of severe disaster. And these zones will be supplied with goods. There will be things more available than any other place in the country with you.
And
Miles, please say that again. So we look at. I'm looking at Google right now. I'm looking at the Agenda 21 maps. Okay, what am I looking for?
You look for the blue zones. The blue zones, there will be deliveries. There will be certain infrastructure available. FEMA will be a pre-position logistics items there. Everything else, what is not a blue zone, is a zone where delivery will be scarce or not at all.
So if you live in a non-blue zone, you're on your own. Is that right?
That's exactly right.
Miles, would you recommend being on your own or not on your own?
I like to be on my own, but I like to be prepared as well.
Too. Me too. Okay, so then is the word to the wise, make sure you have what you need before you need it? Is that what you're saying?
ASAP.
Okay, make sure you have what you need before you need it as soon as possible. Miles, did you want to hang on?
Do you want me to?
Well, if you got more to contribute, absolutely. Your call.
Okay, I do.
Okay. All right, Miles from Europe is with us, Senior USA Preparedness Instructor. John Regan, Senior USA Preparedness Instructor.
KDArmor.com is your one-stop shop for the highest quality body armor, period. With packages starting at $169.99 and free shipping on every order. Why would you go anywhere else? KD offers rifle threat rated armor up to level 4. And now introducing trauma pads. Go to KDArmor.com and get your body armor today while you still can. Mention this ad and receive a free water filter for a limited time with any body armor package. Go to KDArmor.com. That's CATI armor.com. Come and take it.
Worried about lead, fluoride, and other contaminants in your drinking water? Get a ProPure with the Pro 1G 2.0 cleanable reusable filter and remove up to 200 contaminants. Drink water the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. See the complete line of ProPure products, including the new ProMax shower filter. There's a ProPure for you. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer for details or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-403-4885. That's 1-800-403-4885. 1-800-403-4885. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details in the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price can vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business, so make sure that they create a positive impression with ReputationDefender.com. What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with ReputationDefender.com. Call 800-831-0771 now. That's 800-831-0771 for your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with ReputationDefender.com. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-831-0771 to learn more. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
If you have sleep apnea and you're tired of dragging around your big, bulky home CPAP device wherever you travel, what I'm about to tell you may sound too good to be true. MiniCPAP.com now offers a portable device that's as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound. Even better, you can try Transcend absolutely risk-free for a full 10 days. Call us now, 1-800-940-5473. Transcend is the world's first portable mini CPAP device. It gives you the freedom to sleep in total comfort anywhere you are. For even more freedom, you can add a battery that's as tiny as a deck of cards. Transcend is so small and so light you can fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. It's FAA compliant too, so you can even sleep comfortably while flying. It's true. You can enjoy the freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere, anytime you want. Call MiniCPAP.com now for your 10-day in-home trial. 1-800-940-5473. That's 1-800-940-5473.
Class Captain John Regan's with us. Joining us from Europe is Miles. Miles, you mentioned Caracas, Venezuela, and you mentioned the shortage of baby food, milk, sanitary napkins for females, toilet paper, and soap. You mentioned the black market. And add to that, what about insulin? What about antibiotics? What about syringes? I mean, things that we think might be there. If you watch the video Jericho, the series, you'll find out that syringes are a problem. Medicine is a problem. Everything becomes in short supply when the supply chain fails, and we just take it for granted. Miles, back to you.
Well, you have a two-class society in Venezuela. One of the airline captains had to go to the doctor there, and he went to a private doctor, a little bit more upscale to high society, and there was everything available because they still had the means to have something in stock or in store, or to get something from outside the country, paying in different currencies. But Other than that, the situation in the hospitals over there is not very nice. You have the floors of the hospitals occupied with beds, with sick people, with old people that don't get any medication anymore. Insulin is a huge problem, as well as every other medical or pharmaceutical prescription drug. And so your good advice in finding out about natural remedies on what to use for your ailments in order to have a secondary treatment or then the primary treatment. The same thing is with drinking water. Drinking water is a big issue. Caracas is a city and has a corporation or a state-run corporation that takes care of the water, and the water is not potable unless you cook it and then you consume it. All these things you need now start to take into your consideration on a daily level just to be prepared, even if you are in the blue areas on the Agenda 21 maps. And it looks like that one or two people out of a family always have to stay in line in order to have the opportunity to get something in Venezuela. If they don't do that, nothing will be handed out to them.
Miles, you and I talk multiple times per week typically, and I can tell the tone of your voice. You can tell the tone of my voice. You know when something's not right. I know when something's not right in each other's voices. I know right now that I can hear concern in your voice. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not. I'm totally concerned. Even here in Europe, just as an example, today the German debit card system has a failure, and so if somebody wants to get money out of the ATMs, they might be faced with a situation, depending on the bank, that there will be no money available today, maybe even tomorrow. For people who are traveling, Germans that are traveling, they will not have access to cash money with their debit card in any ATM outside of Germany as of this morning, 9 o'clock.
John Regan?
It's kind of like you can't do anything to really protect yourself outside of trying to have your village put together. If you try to do things with cash, you've got the civil asset forfeiture. They'll just take it from you. If you try to cooperate with the digital currency, they can shut that down. So it still gets what I say. You need the food. You need the organic lifestyle.
Some word of advice.
Miles talks about... Yes.
Yeah, you go ahead first, Vincent. I'm sorry.
Miles, I was going to say that you mentioned to me off the air, on the air, you've got to take care of yourself first, meaning health. And I can tell you, class, that let's say there are 3 people on a farm, okay, and you're all working together, or 3 people in a family business. Let's say a husband, wife, and a child. One of those people gets sick, just one, okay? You're not down 1/3. You're down 75%. Because not only is that one person not able to help, that brings you down 1/3, but the other 2 have to take care of the one who's down, which brings you down, in my opinion, 75%. So, class, what I'm saying is you absolutely, positively need to make sure that you do what Miles recommends and stay healthy. Miles?
So, yeah. First line of defense is personal health. Get your health act together. Find out what you need to do to improve your life, your well-being today. Start with that. The only thing that can happen is that you might benefit from that. And if you are functional and you are alive to the point where you can accomplish tasks and solve problems, then you're up to speed for the times to come. Other than that, I'm sorry, it's going to be a tough time for you. And here's some word of advice where to get things right now with you. right now we're in the month of the Ramadan, of the Islamic holiday, and so every shop that is a Muslim shop is filled with food because they're celebrating their food. So, and they might have the best buy opportunities, even some packages with lentils, beans, dates, and everything what you need to cook a good dinner or a perfect dinner with a family. So you might find out about a shop in your area and have a look at that, because this is right now the best opportunity to get food in bulk for a very reasonable price.
Miles, I was teaching a very small class yesterday on refrigeration, and I was showing those who were in this little class here at the farm about an air conditioning evacuation pump. And I said, you can hook this thing up to a pressure cooker. You just adapt the hose to the pressure cooker, and you can put some lentils in there and some other beans, and dried beans, and you can put a like a canning jar in there, and you leave the lid just loose, so that if you bump it, it will fall into place inside the pressure vessel. And I said, that's how you can evacuate all the air out of, or almost all the air out of, these canning jars and store, dried beans. So that's another way that you can store food for longer. And you can do it yourself. Just get an evacuation pump from a refrigeration system. If you want, you can even use an old refrigerator compressor if you adapt that to a manifold gauge or that type of hose.
You're right. Somebody who is finding out is, I call it discovery in life. Somebody who starts working on solutions, identifying problems that somebody has or might be facing, and you then start about thinking about the solutions coming out of a box. I see people getting very creative, not as much as it would be needed or necessary for our coming future, but still, some things are happening. So a thank you to you, John, and to you, Vince, for what you're doing there, because I think our class is a little smarter than everybody else out there. So I urge the class now who didn't do their homeworks until today, now's the time to get going.
Or what, Miles? It's going to be tough, right? Really tough.
Well, the or depends on a personal situation. If somebody's has a disease and has not stored away the necessary items to coming out on a better end, and maybe after things get better, it's going to be tough. And the burden on the family that one might become then is, as you said, I guess as well, 75% is the right number to put out there if one in the family is starting to develop some disease.
John?
Well, I'm just looking at that map, and it doesn't look good. The largest part of the blue area is east of the Mississippi, pretty much from Pennsylvania down the East Coast. On the west side, you have Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, and West Virginia. And the rest of the United States is largely red and yellow. Red is core reserves and corridors, little to no human use. Yellow is buffer zones, highly regulated use. The blue is normal use, zones of cooperation. And there is some blue in the Midwest, but once you hit the Rockies from there west, there's not very much blue at all.
Well, John, I just want to bring a quote in, or not a quote, but on May 31st, President Obama was briefing FEMA in one of their drills. And his statement was that the federal government, the police, the military, the National Guard and all the other federal forces are a important and vital tool for states of disaster and crisis. But every citizen is there to be prepared by himself for what's to come. He put that out on May 31st. You might find that out when you Google that. It's the May 31st President Obama FEMA press conference or press interview, and you might find about that there. So even he is now coming out of the bushes with some information that every citizen is out there for themselves because national reserves, there's nothing for that anymore.
And that's the second time that he's given the warning. He had given the warning back in April, and it was either the same day or the day after. Shayne said something along the lines of, we're going to have an experience worse than 9/11. So we've been warned.
And 9/11, other than the political fallout and the tightening of the noose around our necks, a lot of us didn't experience much compared to what we're talking about now. Miles, is there anything else you'd like to share?
No, gentlemen, thank you very much. I wish you a great day. Thank you.
Miles, thank you for calling in. John Regan, I'll be right back. Class, I'm a survivalist, and my plan is to be independent of everything that I can so that supply chain disruptions have a minimum impact on our family. What's the first thing that you do when the power goes out? I've researched the best value solar energy system that I can find, one that's backed by the technical support necessary for the undertaking. The system's installed and is generating electricity right now, with equipment purchased from ironedison.com. You heard Brandon Williams, CEO of ironedison.com, right here on USA Prepares. Together, we designed our system. In my opinion, our ironedison.com system has more features, more value, and more potential than any other system I found. We chose the Snyder Electric system with a hybrid inverter, charge controller, power panel, battery disconnect, and the system control panel. If you want energy independence, as we have, please consider calling the engineering team at ironedison.com, 720-432-6433, 720-432-6433.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today. Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of slingbow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com. My computer is so slow, it's making me crazy.
I used to have that problem.
Did you quit using the computer, or did you buy a new one?
No, I called Geeks On Site. They made an appointment to visit my home and showed up the same day.
You mean they didn't ask you to bring your computer to a shop? That's what happened when I called a support company.
Geeks On Site can go to your home or business or even repair your computer online. They have 24/7 emergency service.
If you're having problems with your PC or Mac, call Geeks On Site, 1-800-591-1682. Our friendly certified computer repair experts are available 24/7. Call now for a free diagnosis, 1-800-591-1682. Data recovery, virus removal, and maintenance for all laptops, desktops, printers, and networks. That's Geeks On Site for friendly certified computer repair experts, available 24/7 over the phone or in your home or business. Just call 1-800-591-1682. That's 1-800-591-1682, 1-800-591-1682.
Attention USA Prepares listeners. When you're on the road or have limited data or Wi-Fi, now you can listen to USA Prepares Unfiltered and Untapped at no extra charge on this non-federal phone number, 1-605-477-3249. Try it now to listen to USA Prepares 24/7 at no extra cost or data charges. These are not on federal lines. These are lines located on Indian reservations off the grid. Call 1-605-477-3249. No smartphones or internet needed. To hear USA Prepares Untapped and off the grid, just call 1-605-477-3249.
Dangerous blood clot device alert. If you or a loved one had an IVC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to your heart or lungs and suffered an injury, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, and even death. These dangerous blood clot devices can break, and the metal fragments can travel to your heart or lungs, causing serious injuries. If you or a loved one suffered organ damage or other injuries from an IVC filter, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Act now. Time is limited to file a claim. For a free consultation and free information, call Injury Help Desk at 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. This is an advertisement. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. InjuryHelpDesk.com is responsible for this advertisement. Principal office, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Water is the single most important thing your body needs, so you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest priced filtration systems in every size. For incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency, get to GoBerkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com.
Class quick reminder, Arcade Prepper shows this weekend, Saturday the 25th and Sunday the 26th. I'll be there. Rick Miller will be there. Matt Stein, Craig Douglas, Stormin Norman, and many others that you'll recognize the names of. We'll be there, and we're going to have a reunion at Jimmy's Egg. And if you'd like to attend, it'd be great if you just let me know. You can attend without it, but certainly it'd be helpful for the restaurant to know how many of us they can expect. And just send me an email, Vincent@usaprepares.com, Vincent@usaprepares.com, and put in the subject line, USA Prepares Reunion. Okay? That'd be great. John Regan?
Now let's return to the financial section and do the 5,000-year dip. And the title on the article's lowest interest rates in 5,000 years, and all I got was this lousy economy. And it has a chart, goes back to 3000 BC, and we see that in ancient times we had short-term rates somewhere between 10 and 20%. And then we come up to more modern times, the last couple of thousand years. We see a lot of fluctuation in short-term rates. Typically, it floors around 4%. We've seen them into the double digits, and in the more modern times, the 20th century, we saw that hit up close to 20%. And the long-term rates, which if you're looking, that's the red line, it's a little bit more stable. Those did go up and down somewhat along the lines of the short-term rates after we did away with the international gold standard for the dollar. And this century, they've gone down, and the long-term rates continue on the trend down. The short-term, since the crisis, have been practically at zero. And with the exception of the Great Depression, short-term rates were never that low in history. And this affects the economy in several ways. And one, when interest rates turn, that's going to collapse bonds. It's an inverse relationship. And the other side is what this does with all that debt out there. McKinsey says there's over 200 trillion. I can easily document at least 100 trillion, 65 trillion just in the United States, and 20 trillion of that practically is currently owed United States debt that doesn't include the unfunded liabilities. And if those interest rates climb back up to 10%, then as that government debt gets turned over, it quickly turns into a situation where the combined personal and corporate income tax isn't enough to pay the interest on the debt. So when I say we are in a situation we've never seen before in human history, this chart is what points that out. Vincent?
I'm also looking at other problems, like the General Electric closing of a plant, and then Walmart getting rid of employees who were in the accounting area of the Walmart stores. And I know one who was. I know a gal who used to be in that office where she did the accounting. And Bank of America. You've got a post. This is all from the financialstateoftheunion.com news tab. GE is closing a remaining plant. Walmart writes off hundreds of accounting employees. And Bank of America. You've heard Rick talk about how the branch just disappeared. They closed it without warning. And then, so they're dumping another 8,000. That's your link. John, doesn't look good, right?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. John, thank you so much for being with us today. I heard a rumor that you're going to be on tomorrow with Norm Shealy.
I heard the same rumor.
Hey, thank you so much, Captain John Regan. Class above all, honesty and integrity. What happens next is up to you. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Are you worried about how dangerous the world has become? In these days of terrorist attacks, natural disasters, or even a future collapse, you need to be medically prepared to keep your family safe. I'm Joe Alton, MD of store.doomandbloom.net, where you'll find an entire line of uniquely designed medical kits and supplies for when help is not on the way. For everything from individual first aid kits to the ultimate family medical bag, go to store.doomandbloom.net today. That's store.doomandbloom.net. You'll be glad you did.
Attention backpackers, on a budget, why spend $80 to $300 to pump clean survival water? Introducing the Viva Water Pump Kit from Viva Outdoor Products. Super easy to use and super lightweight at only 6.5 ounces, the Viva Water Pump Kit provides high flow rate at 1 ounce per stroke, can be one-hand pumped, and is dependable and affordable at only $24.99, filter not included. Get your Viva Water Pump Kit at VIBA-ODP.com from Viva Outdoor Products.